Hello, my name is Manuel. Today's date is August 17th, 2025. This course is FTE 217 Modern Sporting Rifles. Today I will be disassembling my AR, or field stripping my AR. First things first, we're going to go ahead and clear this firearm. So I'm going to go ahead and point my firearm in a safe direction. I'm going to make sure that my selector switch is on the safe mode. I'm going to remove any source of ammunition, being the magazine, and then I'm going to put that source of ammunition away from my workstation. All right, then we're going to pull the bolt back to the rear. I'm going to visually and physically inspect the chamber, make sure there's any rounds left over in there. Chamber looks clear. This weapon is safe, so I'm going to go ahead and move the bolt forward. And then we're going to start the disassembling of my AR. So we're going to start with the front pivot pin and the rear pivot pin. This is going to separate both the upper and the lower receiver. Next, I'm going to remove my buffer string and my buffer. I'm going to remove the bolt carrier group and my charging handle. That is pretty much for the field strip portion. As you can see, I have my charging handle, my bolt carrier group. Well, actually, hold on. I forgot to we're going to take out the retaining pin, and then the firing pin, and then the cam pin. And then the bolt. And then we're going to remove the ejector from the bolt. And there you have it. I'm going to show you a quick view here. Sorry about the spoot. Alrighty. So, for part 2, one upgrade I considered would be installing an aftermarket trigger group, while the stock AR trigger is serviceable. Many aftermarket options reduce pull weight, creep, and reset distance, leading to faster follow-up shots and greater accuracy. Another area would be upgrading the handguard to a free-floating rail system. A free float handguard eliminates the barrel contact from the accessories or pressure, improving consistency and accuracy. It also provides more mounting space for optics, grips, or sights, or lights. Sorry. Finally, I consider adding a better stock, one with improved cheek well and adjustability that would enhance both comfort and consistency in slight alignment. Each of these upgrades improves either performance or ergonomics, making the rifle more efficient and more enjoyable to use. For part 3, I researched several aftermarket triggers. One of them was from Giselle. I believe the part is called Giselle SSAE. It's a market as a precision 2-stage trigger with a very light second stage pull. It's advertised to improve accuracy for marksmen by providing a clean and predictable break. And then the other one will be a CMC single stage drop-in trigger. These are more marketed for speed, and it's designed to reduce trigger travel and provide a crisp, consistent pull for rapid follow-up shots. And then the last option will be a Timney AR-15 competition trigger, which is also a drop-in design. It's advertised as having zero creep and fast reset, making it popular for competitive shooters. Do I agree with these claims? To an extent, yes. A better trigger absolutely helps with shot consistency and speed. However, I believe the shooter's skill matters more than the trigger. A new trigger won't fix poor fundamentals, but in the hands of a skilled shooter, it can certainly enhance performance. And then we'll be moving on to part 4, which is the barrel dimpling. Barrel dimpling involves creating a small recess in the barrel surface so the set screws of the gas block seat more securely. This helps ensure the gas block stays properly aligned with the gas port even under heat and recoil. Personally, I would choose to dimple the barrel if I were installing a set screw style gas block. It adds more durability and peace of mind, especially for a rifle that may see heavy use. However, if I were using a pin gas block or clamp on style, dimpling would be less critical, so my answer depends on the gas block design. But in most cases, yes, I think dimpling provides worthwhile benefits. And then the last part will be the drop test. After ensuring that my rifle is unloaded, I would cock the hammer to the rear, then lightly tap or drop the rifle on a safe padded surface to simulate an accidental impact. What I'm looking for is whether the hammer remains properly retained and does not slip or fall unintentionally. This test ensures the safety systems are working correctly and that the trigger group has enough sear engagement to resist shock or vibration. If the hammer would fail during this test, it would mean that the trigger is unsafe and would need repair or replacement. In my case, I will reassemble this AR and then we will perform a live drop test. I will be reassembling my AR. I am putting back the extractor onto the bolt and securing it with the extractor pin. And then I would be once I put the cam pin back on the correct way, I will be putting back my firing pin and securing it with my retaining pin. Alright, once it's done, I will be putting back my buffer into my buffer spring into the buffer tube. Alright, and then I will be putting back my charging handle first, followed by the bolt carrier group, making sure that the bolt is forward, not backwards. Then lastly, I will secure it with the pivot pins. Perfect. And then I will perform a quick functions check. So my firearm was unsafe, so the pull trigger, the weapon should not fire. The weapon's on firing. I'm gonna move it back, selector switch from safe to semi. I will pull the trigger. The trigger should fall. All right. While holding down the trigger, I'm gonna lock the bolt back to the rear. And then my hammer should reset. And then I'm gonna move it back from semi to safe. All right, I have a padded. We're gonna drop test this firearm onto my padded mat. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. After performing that, I didn't hear any movement of the trigger, so we're gonna go ahead and squeeze the trigger while it's on safe. The hammer did not fall. I'm gonna move it from safe to semi. The hammer should fall because, like I said, after performing the drop test, the trigger, I did not hear the hammer falling. So selector switches on semi. I'm going to pull a trigger. The hammer did fall. I'm going to hold on the trigger, lock the bolt back to the rear, and then my hammer should reset. And then I'm going to move it back from semi to safe. So, with that being said, my rifle passed, the hammer stayed in place, which confirms the trigger group is functioning as needed.